Hi everyone, it's me Darlene on a different channel. This channel is a channel that I started, I don't know if I started it 5 years ago, but I do believe that my last video was uploaded about 5 years ago from when I'm recording this, which is in November of 2021. I had let that channel go because it served its purpose. I was able to talk about being the daughter of a narcissistic mother to the point where, I just started feeling like I didn't really need to talk about it as much. And in those days, I had comments on everywhere. And although a lot of the feedback was so good that others recognized that they had a narcissist in their life, and so in that way it was helpful, but in other ways people were just flat out evil to me, and I just didn't need that on top of everything else. So I let that channel go. I am on it now because with my mother being in hospice care and with this move from Maine to Mississippi, this is it's unbearable. I don't know how I'm going to survive this. So I wanted to talk about it, and I just don't want it on my main channel because for those who don't want to hear about it or who just don't understand it, they don't have to listen. And, I know that it's probably pretty much the same audience, but it's just like with my ASMR channel. That's so different that I just have a separate channel for that. And this is different. It's not about, crafting or sewing or moving. It's about narcissism, and maybe I can get back to just explaining what I go through, and maybe that will help somebody. And I don't have comments on anymore. There are always ways that people find to reach me, to reach out to me, and that's not what I'm looking for. But for the most part, I can keep it pretty silent. That's what I need. I can't add to the stress with, people reaching out to try to comfort me. I don't know, you guys. It's, I'm not looking for that. And the other thing is that I feel great empathy for people who are going through the same thing. And then I'm very sad. I'm sad for others on top of being sad for myself. And I just don't have enough of me to go around. So it's just, I'm being extremely selfish, and I just want to, chat about this, and it's going to be on this channel for now. This channel, I believe, is still monetized. I haven't looked lately, but it's, I think it's still monetized. If not, I don't even care. I just don't even care. So I'm not going to get into too much because I know Derek and Skylar will be back soon, but I just wanted to jump in and for the hell of it see if I still have people who are, I do have subscribers for this channel, but, will they still watch after 5 years of no new content? So I just wanted to test it out. And, obviously if there's no interest at all, then I just won't talk about this stuff. I don't want to talk about it to any depth of, the narcissistic stuff on my main channel. But what I'm finding out is that my mother's end of life condition has not made her narcissism go away. It's the opposite of that. It is in full force. It stings every time. I am completely mentally drained, and it's the one time that I can't throw myself into work to dull that because I have moved and my furniture is stuck in Massachusetts. I am sharing Derek's apartment with him, and we are in very, we're tight right now because, my mother has her hospice bed in their little living room, so there's just no space for me to work and to cut fabric like I would like and to hold my sales. And I don't have my own printer. I can't for the life of me figure out, Derek either, how to hook up to his printer. So I have to use his computer to print the packing slips and the shipping labels and all that. And he needs his office space. I'm in his office right now. And so it's just a lot of juggling, and I can't do it with also taking care of my mother. And I have explained how she is to everyone. Here's, how that goes. You tell people, and they don't quite believe it. And I've learned that that's called gaslighting by proxy. It's like when other people say, oh, that just ignore it, or whatever. People make light of it because they have no clue what it is like to have a narcissist in your life. And it's especially hard when it's a child of a narcissist and that child was groomed to never leave the abuser. And that worked out perfectly for my mother. I never left her. I still have her. I moved her to Mississippi. I do remember that when I planned this move, she was going from a nursing home to a nursing home. I had no intention of ever taking my mother back out of a nursing home unless she was ever considered a hospice case and that I could take her home for that. And that's what happened. And they gave me a timeline of 1 to 3 days or 2 to 3 days, and then, or maybe a week, that kind of thing. And that just didn't happen. And so she got out of the nursing home system, couldn't go back in. So I have her, and I have begged hospice here and the private pay agency, everybody, how can I move her? I cannot do this mentally anymore. And there's zero help for me. I mean, I don't know. I would probably have to go drop her off at a hospital door and leave. I don't know. So I've had to take a step back and realize that I'm not going to be able to work right now, which just devastates me, because the stress of, even if I have a sale, can I get the stuff ready? Will I be able to print? Will I be able to leave the house? And like Derek has a client that he's doing a Zoom call with tonight in Singapore. So that's at 7:30 Derek's time, because it's in the morning for the Singapore person. And, so like when something like that is going on, I can't run out to Walmart or do anything. I have to just stay with my mother and keep her quiet the whole time, because Derek doesn't want somebody yelling in the background, and my mother just gets irate. And I've been recording her because I feel like I want proof, not only to remind myself I'm not crazy, this is what it is, but to let the others know, because my mother will throw me under the bus, and has every chance she gets. And I want to show people this is what I'm dealing with when you're not here. One of her aides just, looks at me like, huh? They don't get it. They just don't get the extent that my mother, the head games she plays, and the way she intentionally wants to drive me crazy, to make me crazy. She gets her narcissistic supply that way. For instance, something that people would think is just a simple thing. My mother today has just been requesting all kinds of takeout. I want fish in this, and I want pizza. I want this. All of this is so she can have me go out, get something, bring it back, only for her to say she hates it and that she wants me to just throw it away. Now you would say, no, she just wants pizza. No, it has nothing to do with the food. That's just her way of, she knows I would be unhappy to go out and get her something and bring it back and say, oh, here, Ma. She wants to have me do something so that I feel like I'm doing something so good for her, only to knock me down and make me feel bad about it. That's how a narcissist works. It's very calculated, and it's all in a way to hurt. So when she asked for fish and chips or whatever, first of all, my mother's not going to eat any fish but haddock, and there's no haddock in Mississippi, and she knows that. She asked, and the person said, "Oh yes, I'll tell Darlene where she can go." And I told her, I said, I'm not going out to get her fish. That's not what she wants. And this is after explaining to her, and it still was like, huh? You know? So it's hard. It's hard to explain to people. And that's just one like little thing. There's tons of things that my mother does throughout the day. Just those kind of manipulative things. Put me on a pedestal, make me feel like I'm being a good girl, and then she's going to knock that fucking pedestal out from under me and make me feel like I can't do anything right for her, And I do everything for her. But when she's in that mood, nothing is right, nothing is good enough, and it goes, it makes it go nuts after a while. And I didn't sign up for this again. I just didn't. I had 6.5 months off that she was in a nursing home, and I cannot go back to this way of life. I just can't. So I'm gonna stop here, but I'm hoping that my exclusive shoppers can understand and to just give me time. I have no idea how much time it's going to be. I had help scheduled to start tomorrow morning for 4 hours in the morning, and I was at least glad it was going to be 7 days a week. And then I got a text a little while ago that person took another job. Now I'm with an agency, so I was like, okay, I thought the next line would be, but we have somebody else lined up. No, we have to start from square one, and we'll try to find somebody else for you. Oh, but the weekend person can come. And I wrote back and said, it's the weekday person that I want more than the weekend. And so, I told them, if you can get me somebody to come out during the week, then we can look at the whole thing again. But I don't want somebody here just 2 days a week as a little teaser of, what I could be having daily. I just want it all every morning, or I don't want it at all. I don't want an agency that doesn't have enough help. See, I don't like that, because, that means that on days that person can't come in, there's not going to be anybody to fill in. I didn't really talk about that. I just assumed an agency would have a lot of employees. And so because that help fell through, I realized I can't do other work. I can't be involved in other things anytime that I am not with my mother, trying to either keep her quiet or, feeding her, cleaning her, I have to be resting. I can't be cutting fabric. So that's what I'm going to do for right now until I can get other help. I'm just very discouraged about the amount of help that I'm not getting, and also that it's disrupting Derek's life, and it's just making life very difficult for everybody involved, including for my mother. I understand that she's in a different position right now, and she doesn't feel that she's in control at all, and that's making her just, very, very high anxiety and full force, narcissistic. She needs her narcissistic supply, and it just escalates so she can get that. And she's very hurtful and mean and non-compliant. We live in an apartment complex here, and she's the type who will scream bloody murder hoping the police will be called and come so she can throw me under the bus. I mean, that's the thing. It's like you got to walk with eggshells with somebody like that, because they are very good at making things very bad very quickly, and it's a very scary thing. That's why I'm recording everything with her, so I can have proof that the stuff she tells people isn't really happening. Okay, so expect some more of this. I'm okay with recording because that calms me. The editing, not so much, but I'll probably leave a lot of it, for the most part, unedited, because I just don't have the time to do all of that. But I did want to jump in, see if I have any people who are interested in this. And I know there are a lot of you who think I should just be grateful that I have my mother. There's a big difference between a mother and a narcissistic mother. Is a big, big difference. I understand she's my mother. That's why it hurts me. If this was just another patient that I was taking care of, a client that I was taking care of, I would not take it like I do. Because even though I understand narcissism, it's hard to disconnect the fact that she is my mother, and it hurts me like it always did, since I can remember. That pain doesn't go away. It's very hard to separate that. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for watching if you did, and I will be back with more soon. As long as I need to talk about this, this will be the channel that I do it on.